Hi everyone, welcome. This is Mandy, and this is going to be a little bit different for me. So this is a jelly plate, and this is used for paper collage. Well, it's used for a lot of things, but it's used um, to create basically layers using stencils, color, etc. So I just kind of wanted to show you what this was, because when I first saw someone use one, I was like, what is that? So this year I am very interested in doing more mixed media and some texture, and so I'm not going to stop doing the other things, but this is one of the things I'm interested in. So you can see that I'm using a brayer to spread out that color, and I didn't record, or I didn't share all of the process because it would be too long, but there was already some lime green on the roller and on the plate, and I added some oh my gosh, some cobalt aqua, I think is what it is, Vivid Intense from Colourarte, over my stencil. And now I am taking a sheet of paper where I already had some lime green color, and I'm adding this as a second layer. Now, what you're probably seeing is it didn't all come up. So I learned in this process that you have to be careful not to let your paint dry too quickly, which is what happened. Also, using a gloved hand does not make it as easy to feel as your bare hand. So anyway, I'm going to share as much of this as I can with you, but obviously for the sake of time, I have to speed it up. So I can tell you all of the colors I used are Colourarte in some capacity. Some are, Vivid Intense, some are other colors. I believe that this is some variation of phthalo blue red shade. But anyway, I'm trying to keep this pretty minimal because obviously this video can't last forever. So what we're trying to do here is create layers. So typically you want to work, when you're using stencils and stuff, you want to work light to dark so that you can create depth and stuff. If you're using an opaque color, you probably want to put that down first. But I was still trying to figure this out. This was like my first couple prints, and so at this point I'm just trying to clean the plate because what was left on there dried too quickly. So I'm going to use this green yellow Vivid Intense. Oh no, I'm using the aqua again. So basically I'm trying to get that grunge off the plate instead of just cleaning the plate, because that helps create some interest. So I'm using regular like copy paper, sketch paper, some papers that are more absorbent and have like different consistency might work better, but I was just checking it out. So I did create on my Amazon shop, look how cute that is. I did create a list for mixed media, texture, and paper collage, so it is on there. So that way, if you're curious about supplies and you're intrigued by this, check it out. I would like to give a shout out to Cathleen from Cause Creations, because while I was on a mad search for stencils to use with texture, she put out a really cool paper collage video and reminded me about Joggles, which is where I bought my stencils from. And I used to shop for marbling paints on Joggles website. So I was super pumped to be able to remember that they had such a great selection. And I actually bought these stencils from there, and I have a ton of them on my wish list. So as you can see, I'm not winning any awards over here with my printing techniques using the gel plate, but I'm getting the hang of it. So, but I'm not wasting paint, right? So I'm figuring out how to use it, creating some backgrounds, creating some layers. I obviously am just showing you a little bit as I go along, so that when I show you the process of putting the collage piece together, you'll kind of see how I got here. So some of those turned out really funky and weird, and I just kept adding stuff to them, and I figured I would use part of the redeemable qualities of the paper. What you see over there to my side is basically another sheet of paper where I'm rolling the brayer to get the paint off that is kind of in my way. So, but I end up using those too. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of the process with you. I will have more paper collage on my channel in the future. I'm super interested in it, and I'm just figuring it out. And like, so many Colourarte products can be used in paper collage, so it's super neat to check out. But anyway, there's no way that I could possibly show you guys everything in this video and keep this video to be a reasonable amount of time. So I'm just sharing a couple things with you. On my channel, I probably will just release some process videos where I'm just creating gel prints, because otherwise everything I do with this technique is going to take forever. But this is me just kind of learning, right? So I'm taking some of the sheets I've already built and I'm just adding some interest to them. What's fun about this is you can use all kinds of paper. So I just ordered some deli paper from Amazon. I bought kind of a cheap pad of sketch paper. There is a really nice sketch paper that's a little bit more expensive, but until I'm better at this, I'm not going to use that. But I grabbed some tissue paper out of a Christmas present and I did some stuff with that. So I'm going to show you this collage piece. What I did is I took an old canvas and I repurposed it. Okay, so here's just a couple of other sheets I was working on. Some of these didn't even make the cut, but this was a lot of fun. So as I mentioned, I was inspired by Kathleen's beautiful piece, and when she shared in her video where she got her stencils from, I snapped some up and I just kind of started playing around. But this is just a fun way to demonstrate the versatility of color art, right? So in this collage I did, everything but the white I stamped on the top was some form of color art. So if you're here for our event today, welcome. I'm so honored to be able to do this with my artist friends. And of course, the beautiful Leslie has been so kind and generous to offer prizes to all of you and a grand prize. So make sure for every video that you watch, you like, thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a video comment. That will allow you to be eligible for the channel prize. Each channel will have its own prize. And make sure that you pay attention for the secret word or words, because when you put the phrase together and you submit to Color Art, you would be entered into a drawing for a $400 grand prize, which is awesome. So the playlists for Saturday and Sunday are listed below in the description box, as well as the details of the contest. Don't forget, all of the artists have a discount code. So if you do order from Color Art, make sure and use your favorite artist affiliate code to save 20%. We all keep them in our description boxes. So without further ado, my secret word is, I-S, is. So make sure that you write that down. If you're catching the replay, you can still participate in the drawings. So you have until, I think, February. Check the description box. Don't quote me because I've had a long week. Anyway, so now you can see I'm taking these pieces and I'm starting to kind of tear them up, and I'm going to use golden gel gloss as sort of a glue to get them down on the canvas. So I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm putting the gel gloss underneath it. And then once I put the paper down, I'm also gently covering it with gel gloss. Now I used way too much gel gloss, so that's a learning curve issue. But this, it acts as a glue and it also gives a nice finish for the paper. Now the tissue paper is transparent, so it's very versatile to kind of help blend those harsh lines. I really wish I had had more of it. I've heard that deli paper works that way too. So now I'm just kind of grabbing and putting things down, and then I will put the gel gloss down on the canvas and let it dry. So this, as I mentioned in the beginning, is a repurposed canvas that I covered with some flat white paint so that I could cover up the ugliness underneath it and reuse it. So, because, you know, when you're trying something new, you don't want to like break out all your amazing supplies. So you want to maybe try something that you already have that you're not in love with and see if you can't repurpose it. Plus, you know, art supplies aren't cheap, right? So anyway, at the end of this, I obviously hyperlapse this a great deal because you can see me pausing and do I put it here? Do I put it there? So this was a lot of fun though. I'm obviously using way too much gel gloss. So now we have more on the board and we are adding more color and more of the collage pieces to fill in that empty space. It does look like my camera must have stopped recording, and because some of these pieces are not in this video, so sorry about that, but I think you get the idea. Anyway, this was super fun. It took a ton of time to do this for the first time. I think one of the things I learned is to maybe use some larger pieces and then maybe not cut such small pieces, but I didn't know, right? So anyway, so I will do this more in the future and I'll get the hang of this, and it'll be a lot of fun. But this was just a very fun way to kind of express yourself. And I kind of love the way, like, you can take all these messy pieces of paper and then make something beautiful with them. Just kind of reminds me of what God does with our lives sometimes, right? Takes some of our mess, makes it into a masterpiece, and, you know, uses our brokenness. It's just a really fun way to look at that. So I hope that you are enjoying this and thinking of all the different ways that you can use color art. I was super inspired when I saw Cathleen do her piece, and I did link her video below, so if you can check it out, it was really, really pretty. So I'll bring you down so you can see this first layer, and then after this dries, I'm going to come back in and kind of stamp some white circle type patterns to kind of blend some of these harsh lines. I will tell you, now that I'm looking back in hindsight, I kind of wish I had left this like this. My stepdaughter wanted this painting and she liked it better like this too, so you'll have to let me know what you think. Sometimes less is more, right? But this is the next day, and I'm trying to use these cool little stamps that I got and a toilet paper roll. And so I started off that I was going to use golden gel gloss and white Vivid Intense, but then I just thought it's probably just as easy to just use regular acrylic paint. But then I felt like some of these stamps were too like drastic and harsh, and I really kind of just wanted like a soft pop of color. If I had had more time and I didn't need to get this video out, I think I would have done the white circles on some white tissue paper and then used that kind of transparent paper to incorporate it. It would have softened it up a little bit. So anyway, I took my toilet paper roll there and I dipped it in, and you know, part of this is the experiment part for me. So both of those stamps have like a distressed look. So the distressed look seemed kind of harsh in some places. So what I did after I kind of finally liked where I put some of these circles is I went and I got some spray bottles that I have for something else I'm working on that have some Vivid Intense mixed with some varnish and water. And I kind of gently sprayed some teal indigo, some viola blue in some places so that that would kind of soften that white a little bit, and it just kind of took the edge off of it. I don't know if that helped or not. That's what I did though. So, and then I just took a hairdryer and dried off any wet surfaces with no heat. And I set it aside to dry before I varnish it. I can't decide if I want to resin or varnish it. But anyway, the circles are there. So whether I like them or not, they're there. So here's the close-up for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey for my very first paper collage, and for joining all of us today. We're so grateful for your support. Thank you, Leslie, for your generous prizes for our viewers and for your beautiful products. Sheldon is up next. Thanks for watching.